Hello, everyone. Hello, and welcome back for another installment of my craziness. Welcome back to my kitchen. It's not always going to be in a kitchen, like I said. Eventually, I'll be out doing something else. But Happy New Year, everybody. We're about 18 hours into 2021. How is everybody feeling? Is everybody feeling a lot better because 2020 is over? I know I am. It's feeling a lot more hopeful, a lot more like there are more possibilities and all of that stuff. So, what'd y'all do last night? I had a friend that came over and we made some Haitian pumpkin soup because today is Haitian National Independence Day, which I didn't know. So, they make this soup made with pumpkin, also known as calabaza, and it's got turnips and yams and potatoes and this beef that's got this vinegar mixture on it. It's really delicious. But we made that last night. He came over and made it. I'm actually going to grab a bowl of it out of my microwave really quickly. So you'll hear me talking as I grab it. And I'm going to eat this lovely deliciousness while I'm chatting for a second. So there's not a lot going on. I mean, I just wonder, a lot of friends were talking about how, let me show you what this soup looks like. There's the soup. Can't really tell much, but it's delicious. It has a beautiful flavor. And it's made with a lot of love, which is the important thing. But it seems like this year, talking to people and everybody's saying what a horrible year it was. But when I look back at my year, I think, well, it wasn't really that horrible because I learned a lot. I learned how to relax, how to stop taking everything so seriously. I got to spend, look at me getting emotional, 6 months with my mom living with me, which was difficult and beautiful at the same time. At the end, we sort of figured out how to get along and cohabitate in in a New York City apartment. And it was nice. I mean, it was really nice just to have that time to get to know her. She's down in Florida now, and I worry because she's on her own, and she's 79, and I just worry about her down there by herself. So I imagine she'll be here eventually, and I'm going to be that gay dude that lives with his mom. Well, gay dude that mom lives with him. Let's get it right. But I'm happy to do it. It's what you do when your family gets older. I mean, it's what I do because there's not any other option except to bring her in and take care of her and help. So for me, it was a good year. I learned a lot of stuff. I met some great people. Patrick Jacobs, who's become a very good friend of mine, who's this amazing artist out in Brooklyn. And I'll take you out there one day and we'll look at his stuff. But he creates this beautifully disturbing work that I really love, and it really resonates with me. So, him and his partner, I got new friends in them, and a couple of other new friends that are brewing. And in the city, it's not easy to make friends. I mean, when you get to be in your mid-50s, it's not easy to make friends anyway because, everybody's off doing their thing and settling down in families or whatever. And during this COVID time, nobody was getting together. So how do you meet anybody? Being single, it's a whole other thing because how do you meet somebody? And who wants a 56-year-old? And a lot of people do, I guess. But sometimes it's easy to feel like, you've gotten to an age and you just sort of disappear. And that's hard, to feel like you're not relevant and unimportant. And, sometimes as you go through life, your friends slip away and that's hard. Especially when it's so hard to make friends anyway. But on the other side, there's some really great things happening. I'm working thank God for the job that I have, and I get to travel, and I'll show you guys that. I'm actually going back to work. My COVID test came back negative, so I'm good to go back to work tomorrow, which is exciting. And I get to go, and I'm doing a turn, so I'm flying out and back in on the same day. I'm doing that 2 days in a row, which is can be tiring, but I get to get out and work, and I have a few days off again. So, but things are good. So I think when you look back at the next year, it's like, look at the things that you learned. There's a lot of craziness going on out there. And we learned, wash your hands. Shouldn't we have known that anyway? I mean, really? And if you have to do something for the greater good, like put a mask on your face when you go into a restaurant or a grocery store or some public place, is that such a bad thing? Is that so hard to do? It's just a mask. It's temporary. When I go to work, I have to wear a mask. Sometimes I'm wearing a mask for 13, 14 hours a day. From the time I leave my room until I get home, I'm on a plane with hundreds of people and traveling all over, and we have those masks on, and it's just a few hours, maybe a few hours at a time that most of us have to wear a mask. And it's not that big a deal. It's just these little things, like I just don't take everything so seriously anymore. Just relax. Life is good, and we had time, and a lot of people suffered. One of my best friends, we almost lost him. He was in the hospital for 5 months. He was on a respirator for 2 months. He was in rehab for 2 months, and 1 month just getting off the respirator, trying to get to rehab, and getting him home into his house is when he got better, when he finally got to be around people who love him. Because imagine spending 5 months never talking to somebody that or somebody that cares about you, or not hearing the voice of someone you love for 5 months. And Leo loves his people. He needs to be around his people. So, I know a lot of people had experiences. They haven't had any close experiences with COVID. But, if you have, and you've had a loved one die, or you've had someone be really sick and scared, it puts a whole different perspective on everything, and the inconvenience of what wearing a mask is, and what the mandate means, and are we, is the government trying to control us too much? I mean, we all get to have our feelings about that. We do, and I encourage everyone to believe exactly what they believe. You have to be your best you all the time. You have to do your best you all the time. And if your best you disagrees with all that, then you have to say it. But you also have to allow everybody else who doesn't feel your way to have their feelings about it. That's just the way sort of kind of life works. So, anyway, I hope y'all take a couple of minutes to look back at the last year, and we got a long way to go. This isn't over just because the date has changed or a new page on the calendar is flipped. It's not close to being over. We got a long way to go, but we just have to just buckle down and do our best, and try to figure out what you're learning from this. And if you're angry, why are you angry? What's making you so mad? Because it's really not the virus or what people are asking you to do. It's something that lives inside you. Your feelings are all about you. They're not about what's happening out around. Yeah, there are things that are happening. Sorry, I gotta sneeze. Wait. There are things that are happening out there that affect us. But angry. I mean, upset, I can see. Get upset, get strong, get empowered to do something. But angry and name calling, and why? It's not productive. Putting people down, not productive. They're different. There is no black and white. There's gray. There's white, and all 1,000 million shades of gray to black. And everybody falls somewhere in between. We're not all the same. And we just all have to get along and do this together, and have your feelings about it. Absolutely have your feelings about it. But don't get angry at somebody else because they don't feel the way you do, Anywho, that's my lecture. Didn't mean to quite go there, but anyway, it's all about love, babies. It's all about caring for each other, caring for yourself first. You always have to take care of yourself first. There's being selfish and there's being self-full. And selfish is when you do something that creates a negative effect to somebody else. That's when you're being selfish. But when you're being self-full and you're just taking care of yourself to take care of yourself and it's not hurting anybody else, that's good. You need to do that. You need to be self-full all the time. Because if you're not filling yourself up, you're not filling up what's inside you that needs to be filled up, you're not any good to anybody, you know? And if you're just out there being negative and screaming and telling everybody else they're wrong, it's not good for anybody. It's not good for you. Carry around all that anger. Just breathe. Figure out why you're angry about it. Work on that. Work on being happy. Work on letting everybody else be who they are. And how you can work with them in society or in your everyday life. How do you work with that? That's what living in a big city is all about. And I'll take you out and about New York, you know, when I have a chance, now that I can actually leave my apartment. But take you out and about and, you know, show you around. I moved here in 1987. So I've been here a huge part of my life and learned a lot. So throughout the course of whatever this is that I'm doing, we'll learn more about each other. And if y'all have any questions or, you know, want to know anything or want me to take you somewhere or whatever, just let me know and I'll happily do that with you. Or if you want to have a discussion about something, let's do it, you know, let's talk about it. There are many ways we can do that. And I encourage that. So anyway, Happy New Year, everybody. I hope that it's good and prosperous and full of love and learning and all those things for you. And I hope that you look back at the past year and try to find the highlights of that year and what were good about it. Because we all know it was crazy. We all know it was a super crazy year. But take a minute and sit back and look behind you and say, what did I learn? What was good about it? Because I know I had a lot of good. And one of the good things I got was this bowl of soup, which I'm going to eat now. So I love y'all. Take good care of yourselves. Take care of everybody else as well. But first of all, take care of yourself. Be self-full. Fill yourself up so that you can give to everybody else who needs you, okay? I'll see you back here soon. Bye.